The Town of Cedar Lake Board of Zoning Appeals, July 11, 2024 meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Here.
Mr. Hunley?
Here.
Mr. Jackson?
Present.
Mr. Burnham?
Present.
Mr. Kapora?
Present.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Bungie?
Present.
Mr. Kubiak is absent. Ms. Haydick is present.
Old business, item number 1. StarSafe Developmental Variance, owner petitioner, StarSafe of Cedar Lake LLC, 5301 Dexter Street, Suite 300, Skokie, Illinois, 60077, vicinity of 13649 Whitner Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Developmental variance is to allow the petitioner to use gravel for parking in the rear of the property, to continue to have parking along the property lines, and to have waivers from the lighting requirements in the gravel area of the property, and screening along the northern and western boundary lines as currently existing on the property. We have a petitioner. Somebody online?
No?
Mr. Chairman, for purposes of the record, I want to report to the board. I received a draft or a proposed form of development agreement from another attorney for the petitioner. About a week ago I received that. I thought I sent it down here. I don't know if it got here or not yet. It appears that there's a proposal in the form of that commitment, it's a contractual commitment under the Indiana Code. I'm not certain how that ties into this, but there's some use issues, there's some developmental variance issues. They really ought to be understood in one document. It was proposed that that document be the solution document to whatever's pending before us. So, pass that on. I'll make sure, Jeff, if you haven't seen it, it hasn't
I have
gone
not.
through the
I
department.
have not seen that.
I will get it over here. I did not hear from the attorney. He sent it to me cold and blind, said he would get back to me. I've never heard from him on it. So, it was unsolicited and undiscussed.
Yeah, this keeps dragging on, and he's still parking his trucks there on the gravel and that he's asking for a variance for, and you know, but they gotta start showing up and giving us some answers here.
Well, due to that letter, you want to just put it on until next month?
Well, I guess we're gonna have to, because we have to have the letter reviewed by, you know, Jeff, and we need to see it and what have you, so, yeah, so, I had to take a motion for deferral till next
I'll
month.
make a motion to deferral.
Motion made by Mr. Burnham to defer to next month,
Second. Go ahead.
second by Mr. Hunley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Number 2, Camus, developmental variance, owner petitioner Richard Camus Jr., 13132 Lindbergh Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 13132 Lindbergh Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. This developmental variance is to allow the petitioner to construct a 6-foot privacy fence on the property line of a corner lot, replacing the existing fence. Hi, name and address for the record, please, sir.
Richard Camus Jr., 13132 Lindbergh Street, Cedar Lake.
You want to give us an idea what you want to do?
I just want to replace, it's an exact replacement of my fence. It's old, falling apart. And I just wanna replace it with 6x8 wood panels, same thing, nothing different.
Is the original fence that height?
Yeah.
So you're not changing height, you're not changing placement, all you're doing is replacing exactly what your existing is.
Yep.
Okay.
Wasn't there a question on, where the fence exactly was last, did I hear something along those lines?
We didn't get to talk about it.
Pardon?
We didn't get to talk about it last time, cause my, newspaper thing was a day late, so.
Yeah, remember he was here last month and.
Yeah, and the legals weren't in
His
order.
legals weren't in order.
Oh, is that what, that's what it was?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Do we have to ask for legals on this?
You do.
Yeah, 'cause it's not on the agenda here, so are legals in order?
I'll check. Legals are in order.
Thank you. We have a seat for a minute, please.
Sure.
Are there any demonstrators for or against? Are there any demonstrators for or against? Anybody online?
No.
Demonstrations are closed. Please come back up, sir. Building department have any comments?
I don't think I do. It's kind of a unique piece of property with the radius on the corner. What was the concern? Was there a difference between what was existing and this little bump out toward 132nd Avenue?
No, there's nothing, I mean, it's been there for, 20 years?
Same fence that's been there for years, right?
Yeah,
You're just gonna take that out and put it back in.
yeah, it's just.
And there's no, site triangle violation I see there either. I think that there's nothing blocking the
No, the
use
fence
there.
No,
is
that
technically
fence is
in the
way back.
backyard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it
It's
got
not, has
pulled
nothing
back
to do with the
there.
radius that's in there, so.
yeah.
it's just because where his lot is the problem, but I don't see, if he's just replacing the same fence as there, it's not blocking anybody's view or anything like that.
I mean, what's their view? I pulled, that's what I got a price.
No, normally when there's a corner, there's something to stick out so you can't see around the corner.
That's just on a curve.
But you're a curb and you're not near that anyway, so it doesn't,
Up on a hill.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter anyway.
I don't see no trouble with replacing an old worn out fence with a new fence, as long as it's the same as it was before.
Nor do I have no other questions.
Well, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we,
You wanna make the motion?
Go ahead, Jeff.
go on.
I will make the motion for a favorable development variance to allow the petitioner to construct a 6-foot privacy fence on the property line of the corner lot, replacing the existing fence to the findings of the fact.
I second it.
With the stipulation that the fence stays in the same location?
Yes.
Would you have a problem making that amendment?
No, it says it right there.
It says it in the
Replacing
picture.
existing fence, so it's gonna stay the same.
No?
I can amend that if you feel that's
I mean, you
necessary.
can replace the fence and that's it.
I mean, it's already
Can't be
measured out.
constructed, it won't be issued a permit, if it's gonna be different than where it's at.
Right.
So we're all good?
Legally, yes.
Okay.
I have a motion by Mr. Burnham and a second by Mr. Hunley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Kapura?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you, sir.
You're good to go.
All right. So I need a permit, or is this?
Yeah, you have to-
No,
Well, you
permit,
gotta
right?
come in and
Submit one.
see somebody.
See the building department for a permit.
Yeah, you
I
come
didn't
in,
know about more.
yeah, you can come in and get a permit tomorrow, or,
Fearless is gonna come in, and they're gonna take care of that, but.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
They're a registered contractor in town?
Fearless Fence?
Mm-hmm.
Through Home Depot, I would think so.
No, okay, they have to be registered through the town.
Okay, how do I check that?
When you
I
get
think
your
they know.
permit, they can tell you in the office.
Yeah, when you pull your permit, you're gonna say who does, what work you're doing, and who's performing it, and that's what I think you'll get checked, that's what they'll get checked.
Okay.
Okay, new business, number one, Lamar Advertising, developmental variance. Owner, Moon Real Estate LLC, 12839 White Oak Avenue, Cedar Lake. Indiana, petitioner Lamar Advertising, 9900 Georgia Street, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307, vicinity of 9915 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Developmental variance is to allow the petitioner to upgrade and relocate existing static back-to-back billboard sign structure to LED digital back-to-back for westbound and eastbound traffic on 133rd Avenue. Due to relocation, petitioner is requesting sign to be closer than 600 feet from residential building. Name and address.
Good evening, gentlemen. Sean Pettit, I'm the real estate manager for Lamar Outdoor Advertising Offices at 9900 Georgia Street, Crown Point, Indiana. Tonight, we're here to ask permission to upgrade an existing sign. We had acquired this sign back in 2021 when we bought the assets of View Outdoor. This was actually built by View Outdoor, and they came in front of this, well, the BZA, not necessarily this membership, but you may recall, this is on a vacant lot next to Sportsman's Den on the south side of 133rd Avenue. We would ask that we be allowed to put up an 11 by 23 back-to-back digital display unit. We have approximately 156 of these in our market, which covered Lake and Porter County, as well as the 5 collar counties in the Chicagoland market. There will be no sexually oriented businesses advertised on this sign. This is not a scrolling or exploding. These are static panels. I'm sure many of you have seen them. Our existing inventory on US 41 coming down here into Cedar Lake. So we would ask consideration for the conversion of this sign. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, just a minute. Are legals in order, Mr. Austin?
They are.
Thank you.
Is this the one between, the Dairy Queen and Sportsman's Den?
Yes, the vacant lot, yes.
So you're gonna take the one down that's up now?
We're investigating the integrity, since we did not build that sign. That's, different standards from Lamar and what View did. We're gonna test the strength of that column. The head definitely will have to be replaced. It will need a new sign head and a new torsion tube.
So so my understanding is you're gonna take down, if that structure is not sound for what you want it to do, you're gonna take it down and replace it, not add another one.
No.
You're replacing what's already up.
Right, if we have to.
The technology that you are requiring.
Right, if we had to, sir, we would cut it down probably 2 foot below grade, and then put the column, we do a drilled caisson foundation, depending on the soil.
So your variance is, you need a variance because of the subdivision they built behind it?
Yes, I believe that's what we discussed that, right, Jeff?
That was our determination, is that, he was still good, we was grandfathered in for everything as far as, from the previous request. But now, because Summer Winds now exists behind, Demont State, it was determined that he was closer than the required 600 feet.
How close are you?
Do you know the dimension?
I don't, not off the top of my head, I don't know the dimension as to how far we are.
Yeah, we looked at it, but
I did look at it, and I don't know if I put that in the application or not, Jeff.
Well, the problem is the property line is close. The house may not be.
Well, the bases are gonna stay there, it's there now, the bases are gonna stay there now.
Hopefully, yeah,
And the
right.
display on top.
And the sign head will be changed, yes.
And the height of it right now, it
Right
will
where
not
it's
be
at.
high, your new
No.
sign or replacement will not succeed what is already there.
Exactly.
Alright.
Is the new one gonna be any bigger than the one that's up there now?
We are putting up an 11 by 23, that's a 10 by 22. But when you get to the dimensions and the framing, it's kind of 10 and a half by 22 3/4, I think is what View put up there.
We have a seat for a minute, sir. Do we have any demonstrators for or against? Is there any demonstrators for or against? Anybody online? Demonstrations are closed. You can stand back up, sir. I would still like to know what the distance is between, it's less than 600, are we gonna, okay, 10 foot off, or?
Well, the original approval that View got was to set the edge of the sign face 10 feet off the 133rd Avenue right-of-way. Now, I'm not sure, this lease was done back in 2001 with a gentleman by the name of Ken Miskus and his wife. They entered the lease agreement with View Outdoor. Then Ken sold the property to Moon Realty, which is Eric Moon, and we've developed a new lease with him. Let me see if it says in his survey, Jeff, if they've got anything on here. This was done by Plum Tucket.
Yeah.
Is it 349 as far as the depth of that lot? Or is that 249?
The depth of the lot is 240, on the west side, Jeff, it's 247.79.
Well, no matter what we do, there's still gonna be a billboard there, whether it's a new one, a foot bigger, or the one that's there, they're not gonna remove it no matter what, you're just gonna
Right.
replace it.
And I think when Jeff and I met, we looked at the aerial, and the back side of this lot that Moon Realty owns is heavily wooded. So it would shield the properties to the south, the residential properties to the south.
And the residential people that live there now certainly don't have a problem, I wouldn't think, with the existing sign, especially through the pretty thick wooded area that Mr. Pettit's talking about.
And this sign is kind of at an angle, correct? It's not, is it flat on both? It looked like it was off.
It's back to back. I don't know how they put that sign head on there. That's why we want to replace the entire sign head. Unfortunately, we have found in acquiring the View assets that some of the structures we've acquired throughout, we bought about 173 structures from them.
The print of your sign I'm looking at, it's not back to back. It looks like.
No, it's slight V, right.
So that V is gonna be towards 133rd. It isn't gonna go like this towards the subdivision. They're gonna wanna put it out. If you're driving past it, you're gonna wanna see it at an angle.
Exactly.
All right.
The point will be at 133rd.
Correct.
And those folks, if they were able to see it, they would see basically the back guts of the sign, the stringers and the uprights. Yeah.
And Lamar bought the View from Dean White's organization.
Well, actually, what happened was Whiteco, when Mr. White was still alive, when it was Whiteco, he sold to a company called Chancellor Media.
Oh.
And Chancellor Media did radio stations in the Southwest. They really weren't into the billboard business. And they had it for about 20 months, and then they sold it to Lamar.
But didn't Mr. White, he originally built it, right?
No, I think View actually built this one. They built that one in 2000.
This one's relatively recent.
Yeah, it's recent, yeah.
So how does the lighting work on these? Because we had lights on that street there where we don't want them on all night long. Does it stay on 24 hours, or is it got
This
time?
runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. We run 8 10-second slots, and again, it does not explode, it does not scroll. It's gonna be, Burger King, Centier Bank. I'll be honest with you, gentlemen, one of the inquiries that the sales department came to me was, with the new branch of Centier opening, they would like to buy 2 or 3 of these panels to advertise the new branch that was built. So, there is an inquiry from local businesses to already, get up on this board, and again, they will not scroll. Even though 133rd is not regulated by the state of Indiana, we still tend to follow the NDOT guidelines, which say 10-second intervals. And I notice a friendly face in the back corner. Mr. Austin can tell you about his experiences. We've done these throughout Schererville, Highland, my hometown of Maryville, Crown Point. We also will do, which is in the packet I left for Kirsten to give to you gentlemen, we also do silver alert, amber alert. We will do weather warnings. God forbid you have a water main break or a sewer. We can post that up through our National Operating Center. You can have a library of, 4th of July parade for Cedar Lake. We can put that up if all 8 slots are not sold out. We offer what's called space available advertising to the communities. And we've just used it in Maryville quite a bit for our different activities we've had. And I know that Cherville has done it, all the communities have done it. I just got a phone call from the Hobart Police Department, they're in a hiring process, and said, hey, do you have any of your boards available where we can get a slot? And we put them up a couple times for them. So Lamar is very community oriented.
Okay.
Want to be a good neighbor.
Now Lamar owns one on the north side of 130 there too, right?
Yes, we do. We pay Hanover School Corporation. Yep. In fact, I went to both property owners to see, again, with the request from the sales team, can we, what's the possibility of doing a digital in Cedar Lake with everything that's going on, you guys have going on? And so I approached both property owners, and Moon Realty was willing to work with us, sign the application. We've got a pending modification to the lease, which will give us more time. This project will probably cost Lamar in the vicinity of $200,000, $250,000, because you've got the digital panel itself, and then the steel head and what needs to be done to that structure. So we're probably a construction cost of about $250,000.
So it's going in the same spot this existing sign is, so it's no closer to the property than what it is now.
Right. Yep.
It's just that now with the subdivision back there, it creates a variance request.
Right.
The setback off 133rd is good. I think that was a concern that we looked at 20-some odd years ago when you said this, but
So town has no objection.
But town has no objections.
That lot that sign's on is fairly small. I don't know if any other business could go in there.
I don't think we.
Fairly small lot, right?
No.
Is there any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
please, board members, be very specific, so there's no misunderstanding when the permit comes in by Sean and his team to build this thing. So you don't have any misunderstanding about what's being asked for, what you're considering to approve. To make a good record here.
So that should be in the motion?
Oh, this is recommendation? No, it's an environmental allowed.
Developmental variance.
So we should put that in motion.
I'm suggesting that all the items you just talked about in the last 5 or 10 minutes of presentation information be as specific as you are able.
So do we have an issue with the lighting being on 24 hours? I know we have some businesses that we told by midnight.
Well, it depends on the brightness after a certain time.
Yeah.
So I know we do have,
Like the bank, I know a few of those flashing ones and stuff, we've asked those to go off at a certain time.
but do we have lights that are on, signs that are on all night long?
Yeah, Culvers.
Culvers, yeah.
Yeah, they don't
It's-
have stop.
This does have a photo cell, which will dim in cloudy weather and it adjusts itself to the light, to the ambient light around it. These foot candles are, if you take a speedway, and we've done this in several communities, a foot candle reading at a speedway canopy is much brighter than what these signs put off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we want it to dim after a certain time at night, so it's not on full force. We want it to be in the same spot as the existing sign is now, it's just gonna be replaced with new structure. But the base is gonna be in the same spot, and the sign is not gonna be, per se, any larger than what is up there now. What else do we need?
What else do you want?
I don't know, I just think it needs to be replaced, to replace the existing. I just think the sign needs to go exactly where the one is to replace it there.
Yeah.
I mean, that falls in all the guidelines. If we place it right where it's at,
Mhm.
and it can't go any higher, which it's not,
Right.
I think you got everything covered, Jeff. I don't think there's anything you can add.
Yeah.
You have a height restriction, and they have to build off what's there. I mean, it's gonna be in the exact same place. He did say that it's gonna be a little longer.
A little bit, yeah, it's 11 by 23, it's 10.5 by,
The existing is what?
I believe it's 10.5 feet high by 22
So
and 3/4.
He'll add a foot.
Yeah, 6 inches to a foot, yeah.
But that one, I don't think is like this. I think it's flat.
I think it's
His is gonna be
A
a
V,
V, right?
Yeah.
We could make it a back-to-back.
No,
Yeah, that's what
I think the
the
V,
town
I think
wants.
the
We
V would
can-
be better.
Yeah.
We've got several different versions, we've got Vs that are 15 foot on the backside, we've got Vs in the, on the expressways that are 20 foot on the backside. We can go, and we have back-to-backs. on
Cause that
these
light will
vehicles.
stay away from that residential, I mean,
Right.
nice. I understand the advertising, I'm not,
Yeah,
that's,
Do you own the one at 231-41?
yes, we do. Mhm.
It's not too bright at night when you go by there.
Okay.
It's sort of
And it's also gonna depend, gentlemen, on who the advertiser is and what colors they're using. I mean, if they're using a yellow or a white background, yeah, we'll have to adjust, we can try and adjust that with the photo cell. But some of this color, meshing together of blacks and whites and greens and yellows and all that, it's just gonna depend on the advertiser.
are you concerned about the lights being on after 12?
I'm not concerned, it's just so it isn't.
We just brought that up.
My opinion, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing exactly this, and it's gonna be an angle, I think if anything, they're gonna like it a little better.
Yeah. No, I'm not concerned with any of this,
I just want your wording, if I'm gonna do this, I just wanna know what I have to read off, that's what I'm asking.
yeah. No, I have no concern with the lights, on all night, it's just that I don't want them too bright later into the evening.
Okay.
Or early morning hours.
See, this is kind of a new thing, because this is more in town. The other ones, you're talking 231-41, they're out.
But the light, I think though, the lighting, the actual light
We
coming
will-
off the sign won't be any more than what the Culver's one is.
Yeah.
And Culver's is lower, this isn't 3 feet off the ground, this sucker's what, at
I believe
least?
it's 30 feet overall height.
So it's got-
Yeah, it's up here.
Problem with that, it'll spread out.
Yeah.
The Culver sign is down by the building, it's black.
And it rotates, it says,
Rotates.
there's information on it, I mean, it's not the only one.
I don't know, I got a street light behind my house, I complain about it all the time, because it's right there.
Got a BB gun?
But it's, I don't live in Summer Winds, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got a night light by my bed I gotta worry about.
Yeah, me too.
It's just,
Don't use that BB gun, Jerry.
All right, if there's no more discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I hope I get all this in.
Sure you can.
I'll make a motion to allow this development of variance, to allow this petitioner to upgrade, I'm not gonna put relocate. I'll say upgrade existing SAG back-to-back billboard, but that shouldn't even be in there, because it's not back-to-back.
Again, we can go however the board wants us to design this, because I will tell you, when we take out the relo, depending on the integrity of that existing column, what they may do, the engineer may design where we take that existing column down so far, they may sleeve that to reinforce it with another column right over the top, which would stay in the exact same, it'll stay in the exact same
But
spot.
the information will be at an angle.
Right. Mhm.
Alright. Billboard sign structure to an LED back-to-back off of westbound and eastbound traffic on 133rd Avenue. Due to relocation, petitioner requests the sign to be closer than 600 feet from the residential building to the.
It's not being relocated.
What's that?
It's not being relocated, it's going in the same place.
Yeah, he said he pulled that out. Right,
Just call it upgrade.
That's what I just said, upgrade. I didn't say relocate, I took that out.
He left
Yeah.
it out.
Alright, to the findings of the fact.
We good?
He still has full permit for this
Right.
too, so, I mean, he's gonna still have to meet all those requirements that are
Right.
set anyways.
All right, I got a motion by Mr. Burnham to approve, as he stated. Do I have a second?
No, second it.
Second by Mr. Hunley. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Riley?
No,
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Caparo?
Yes. Motion carries 4-1.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
Number 2. Funetis Developmental Variance. Owner petitioner Hillary Funetis, 14715 Ivy Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 14715 Ivy Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. This developmental variance is to allow the petitioner to put an above-ground pool in their yard. Due to location, the property has 2 front yards as it sits between Ivy Street and Parish Avenue. But due to an easement, petitioner is requesting the pool to be 7 feet from the side property line. Are legals in order, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Name and address for the record, please.
John Fuentes, 14715 Ivy Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana.
All right, tell us what you want to do, please.
Yeah, so essentially, since the easement goes into the backyard where the 24-round pool would be placed, would be to be able to be 10 feet off, to be not on the easement and 10 feet off my house, where it would be placed would roughly put it 7 feet from my fence line on the south side of my property. So it'd be 7 feet from my neighbor, from the fence between me and my neighbor. On the north side, I'm sorry. North side of the property.
You have a shed right behind the back of your house?
I have a shed there, but we don't store any gasoline. It's just toys, rakes, shovels. When I put that one up, when I called the town, that's what I was told. As long as I don't store any gasoline in there, and I keep the gasoline stuff in the garage.
What is it, plastic?
Yeah, it's a Rubbermaid.
Oh, so it's not permanent?
No, you can pick it up a little bit. But I don't store any gasoline.
And the person north of you, are they offset off your fence? Their swimming pool, they're far enough away?
To be honest with you, I've never measured it. The one thing is, they probably have the same amount of easement, but their house isn't as wide as my house, so their backyard is a lot more than my backyard, per se, so, I'm sure they were easily able to accommodate this, but, I'm not positive. It's probably 10 feet though, yeah.
Your neighbor to the north has a pool, right?
Yeah,
And the back of your property butts up to Parish Avenue?
yeah.
And it's fenced in, right?
I'm sorry?
Is your property fenced in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the fence in the easement?
No, yes. So,
This is one of those world-famous cases with the 2 front through lots on Parish and Ivy. And every single lot that we've ever done, for the couple of folks that have been on the BZA for a while, we've come through, we've done multiple of these. And actually, I think there's probably only 2 or 3 out of that whole stretch that do not have fences that are in the easement. So yes, all of these folks that have rear yard fences are built over the easement.
yeah, so that was kind of news to me.
I have it. My fence in my backyard is in the easement. I mean, we have nowhere else to go with it. So, but my pool, to meet all the specs, I couldn't put in a 22. I put in 18 to meet all, so my measurements off of everything isn't up to code.
Okay.
So your hardship is, you have to have a 22-foot pool. If you didn't have a 22 and you put in 18, what are your measurements then? That's an extra 4 feet. Would that extra 4 feet put
Yeah,
you
so
in?
I believe if I went from the 24 down to a 21 round,
Yeah.
it would meet all specs. So,
So
that is,
you're just trying to get another foot out of your pool?
I'm just trying to get the bigger pool, yes. That would be correct. So, yeah, when I purchased the pool, I was ignorant to the fact that was my, I never looked at these property inspection reports. I went through the variance process to put in the fence about 10 years ago. When I heard 30 feet, I always assumed that was 30 feet off the road. The way the fences are located, and then when I planted privacy trees, I was, put it inside the fence line, so it's not in the easement, is what I was told. So you never got to remove them. Well, that's not the case. It is in the easement. So I may have to pull, 30
I think that's the rule for all easements, whatever's in there that you're liable for. Same with what happened to me.
Yeah.
There's still about 6 foot between your fence and Parrish Avenue that's...
Oh, there's way more than that.
No, there's more than that.
There's about 30 more feet. Even
Yeah.
with them widening Parish, I'm one of the addresses where they widened it a couple feet on like the second house. I still have probably 30 feet to my fence. And then I have another 30 feet that comes into my property. I shouldn't call it into my property, but into the fence line. So now I have to move it closer to the house, which makes it closer to the neighbor's property off the original design that we spec'd out. So it's gonna bring me 7 feet to the property line.
This pole is not gonna be in the easement.
No, it will not be in the easement.
Okay, but you're gonna be 7 feet off of that north property line.
Yeah, I'll be 10 feet off my house
Yeah,
as required, and I will be not on the easement. But now I will be, since it's gonna be on the side of the patio, I will be closer to my neighbor's property line, 7 feet.
and why can't you move it to the south?
I have less room on the south.
Have a what?
I'll have less room on the south.
He's got a pretty extensive, brick patio.
Yeah,
Right
I'd
behind
have
it.
to tear up the patio to get it in.
Well, would you entertain a smaller pool, make it fit?
If you guys say no, I would entertain it. Right, I would go back home and,
You already bought the pool, or what'd you do, put money down on one, or?
yeah, I put money down on it, and I just gotta pay for it before the installation date, right, so.
I didn't know if it was laying in the backyard and you're kind of...
No. So,
All right, would you have a seat for a minute, please?
yeah.
Are there any remonstrators for or against? Any remonstrators for or against? Anybody online?
No.
Remonstration is closed. You step back up, sir. Jeff, do you have any problem with it?
I really do not. They were in my office, we talked about it. We did talk about the option of going with a smaller pool. You have 2 kids?
Yeah.
So, I thought the 7-foot side yard setback, I didn't think was unmanageable, as long as he, I thought the biggest hurdle was to keep the 10-foot from the primary structure.
Definitely.
Well, that'd be consistent with what's going on with most of those houses anyway, right down that line of Parrish Avenue. From your house south, they're all putting fences up and closing stuff in, to be consistent with what's going on there now.
You have a 6-foot fence now?
Yes.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Jim?
We need the motion, man.
We have the motion.
Go ahead, whatever. I'll make a motion to allow the development of variance to allow the petitioner to have above-ground pool in their backyard due to location. The property has 2 front yards and sits between Ivy Street and Parrish Avenue, but due to the easement, petitioner is requesting the pool be 7 feet from the side property line to the back of the fact.
A motion by Mr. Burnham. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Johnson?
Johnson, Jackson,
Huh?
Jackson.
Jackson. One of them J words. I only known him for, 6, 8 years. I'll get his name right soon. Okay, I got, A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Burnham?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Update Cedar Lake Storage, Phase 2.
I did get an email this afternoon, from Nathan Biss on this particular issue. It's basically just an update in that, hoping to have more information by next week, but the company that is providing the drain equipment, has extended the out delivery date, longer than expected. I'm getting verification from my clients, from the other contractor, as they continue to try to be on schedule. As of today, the site is prepped for installation of the below drains. All other electric and cement is in for the light poles, so the below needs to be encased, and then the asphalt. We shall share as more information comes in, and that's from Nathan Biss. So it sounds like pieces and parts are not quite in yet.
Well, we was given a 45-day extension from the 15th of last month. So how's that put them on his extension?
45 days from last month, and that would put him right at the 1st of August.
Well, does that put him complete? Seems to me you should have a better handle on the schedule. I mean, can't be telling us the truck's turning the corner any minute now, because that doesn't tell us when it's going to be done. And we've been fighting this since last fall.
Apparently he can't get an answer from his contractors either, exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Is he still parking everything out there?
Yeah.
I mean, no changes, nobody's left. I mean, he's still pulling in his portion of what he wants to, and he's just not doing what he promised that was going to be done.
Well, he's not getting it paved, and now there's a
I didn't even know anything about drainage.
it just came up last month or something, didn't it?
Yeah, something about drainage going down the middle of the lot or something like that.
Well, yeah, it's an update.
Although, actually, on a thread that's connected to this, there is a message or a text portion from Chris of Porter Brothers that says, please see the attached email from Corin, Maine, which I can go through if you wish me to. We will need to approach the town for an extension to our project. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, but nobody sure seems like they're obviously not interested enough to be here, so
Well, this is just an update. I would like to know scheduling. They have to have some better idea than, oops. I think we need to shoot them off a letter to all parties involved saying, we need to know completion dates here, scheduling, what's going on, a little more than just that blurb we got.
Well, John, you might get that the afternoon of the next meeting. You're getting nothing in advance to prepare for, to review, to consider, to ask questions about. That's the problem.
And you're literally getting it at 2 o'clock on the day that we're supposed to be talking about it.
Most people in this room haven't seen that document.
I have not.
it was sent to, well, it was sent mostly to council folks and Kirsten, my assistant.
Is it sent to you?
So what kind of hammer do we have?
It's to Greg, myself, Kirsten, and Nick Recupero. So it didn't come to me.
Well, that's good. Nick and Greg aren't here.
No.
Is this item on the plan commission agenda next week? Does anybody know?
For the, like the LOC
Well,
stuff, it's not like an item,
we're
it's
getting
not a
close-
numbered item on the agenda.
We're getting close to pulling it, and I received a copy of an assignment or a lease agreement, 6 or 7 pages, and there is no language in that that permits entry by the town for taking the LOC money and making the improvements required to have been made. There's no sign, no entry, no license term. Kind of thought somebody'd be here to talk about it.
Does he have a contract with these people that are supposed to put the drainage in, or anything with them yet?
Well,
Who knows, Jim?
Yeah,
And that shouldn't affect us.
I mean, that way.
Responsibility, he needs to be off doing that, not us shepherding him along the way for his contract, right?
But Jeff, didn't you say that they're having trouble getting parts?
well, that's what the body of, that's what I get from the gist of the body of the letter. There is a paragraph in here from Corin, Maine, which I'm guessing is his supplier. They talk about unexpected production problems due to volumes of orders. And this then talks about a 3-week lead time. They are telling us that it will ship the week of 7/29, but we're trying to improve on this. So that's, doesn't sound like anything more than a potential promise.
Are they using any of this area?
Are they using
They
any of it right
parking
now?
anything on
Well,
paved?
I think they were given permission to go ahead and park on it.
For 45 days.
Yeah, there are vehicles that are stored, stacked stored.
So I say at the end of 45 days, they gotta move everything off that gravel area.
That's the way that the agreement was written. I don't remember.
Well, we just gave a 45-day extension. He had permission to park there until June 15th, when the paving was supposed to be done.
Right. And I think that was granted a year ago, was it not? Or
Well, it was made at the end of,
the
going
following?
into winter, because
Going into winter.
asphalt plants were shut down. and
Correct.
all those good excuses. Well, I guess all we do is wait and see. July 29th, see if this stuff arrives. They need to be here at the next BZA,
That
not,
letter they sent us is bullshit, okay? They call their supplier, hey, I need a letter saying we ain't getting pipe for the thing.
yeah.
That's all that is, that's, put lipstick on a pig is what it is. They do it all the time. If we got 45 days, if you guys gave them a year, and then you gave them another 45, from June 15th, so at the end of the 45 days, we've already gave him the extension he asked for. We gotta start, putting our thumbs down. Okay, we'll give you another, no. We gave him long enough. And you say that to him. And the 45 days are up, you gotta pull all that stuff off the gravel until it's paved. I bet you he goes out and finds the pipe. Because he's gonna start losing money. And that's what it comes down to. He's making money now, regardless if he pays it or not. That's my opinion. Whatever you guys wanna do.
That's a good opinion. I would think that they have to be here at the next BZA meeting, in person, not a, email or a letter or what have you. And if they do not have it accomplished by then I think, Jerry's right.
Well, I still have a problem with, this paving, when we have places in town that have been in operation for 2 or 3 years that haven't got paving done yet. Bugaboos, TC Top, they're gravel parking lots.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but that wasn't our decision.
I know.
This is our decision
That's
now.
why I have trouble-
This is this board.
Forcing someone to do something that others
And
don't
we
have
got,
to do.
we gotta start somewhere. You know, we gotta stop it somewhere. If they didn't stop it when Bugaboo's opened, that's not my problem, I wasn't here.
And
But I can stop it now.
that came down to a 5-2 vote with the town council. 5 people agreed they could leave it stoned, and Ralph Miller and I disagreed with
Well,
that.
and that was their choice,
Yeah.
you know. This is our choice, the 5 of us.
Well, let's shoot them up, let her tell them they definitely have to be at the next BCA. They need to have this completed by the next BCA, or when the 45 days is up. Otherwise, they have to move the equipment they have parked
And that's probably
in
giving
the
them,
gravel off.
and that's giving them an extra 10 days, because that's
And
moving
again,
it
is
into
this on
August.
the agenda of the plan commission next week?
Then what happens if they don't comply?
It needs to be. Jeff, can you make that happen?
I could probably make that happen.
Do we go in and remove the stuff, the town go in and remove the stuff, or we
No,
contract someone to remove it, or we just find them?
no, we can't just go in.
No, we can't, but
And I've got the contract that they signed with customers on my desk, I've read it. And we have no ability under that contract to be protected. So we go and invade Cedar Lake storage, we're in big trouble.
I'm just saying it's no good to make a demand of them and not have no way to enforce it.
Jim, we just gotta show people we're serious. You know, if we're just gonna let them go, why are we here?
Okay? So if they don't do it, how do we enforce it?
Well, we gotta figure out something to enforce it, or just show them that we, we want it done.
Do they have a cash bond or something put up?
There is a bond, and I don't know if it's, cash or not, Gary.
I believe they have a letter credit put up
Oh.
to cover
They do.
paving
For 30
and moving.
There were
equipment and
two
that.
portions of that.
There were
First was
two.
20, and I thought they supplemented it to 30.
Okay.
I
Could have
think.
been like 22 or 2,300, and then the second one was like 7,000.
Yeah.
You might recall it covers the paving and the removal of the vehicle.
Well, 7,000 ain't covering the paving, I don't know. what
No, it
kind
was
of
more than
bond is
7, it was 30.
Right, that's what, there was 20 additional, that was a add-on to the 20. There's like 27 to 30,000.
Yeah, we could pull that, but then we gotta do it. So,
Well, we could pull it and sit on their money, pending getting the right documents to move vehicles, to move equipment, to contract with a paver.
so, send them a letter, tell them what we discussed, or,
I
Well,
think,
definitely tell them they gotta show up to the next meeting.
I think acknowledgement of the later received letter from the attorney ought to be made to the attorney.
I agree.
I'm curious the attorney isn't here to deliver that letter, and I'm on top of it.
And I can't understand why we weren't copied on the email, since this is the board they're dealing with. It sounds like they wanted to go over our heads to the people on the council level.
There's a lot of ways to interpret that.
Well, that's how I interpret it.
Okay. Yes, a letter will be drafted, for next meeting.
right? Okay, moving on. Public comment. Any public comment? Any public comment? Anybody online?
No?
Public comment is closed. Next Board of Zoning Appeal meeting is August 8th, 2024 at 6 PM. We're adjourned.
Okay.
Terry's got a new business adventure. He's a